Thank you for joining me. Today I'll be going over some basic Google Suite knowledge. And so to jump right into it, we're gonna go over the table of contents, and I would recommend using this and seeing if this is relevant to you. Alright, so going into it, the first bullet is how to protect individual files. How to make and receive calls using Google Voice. How to set up Google Meets with privacy settings, specifically HIPAA. How to set up automatic reminders and scheduling features. And lastly, where to access HIPAA documentation. So if any of these 5 are relevant for you, I'd recommend sticking around. If not, be sure to make something more relevant. So with Google Docs and all the files don't use encryption or password protection, and so what we have to do is basically backdoor it. Now, as you can see, just as proof, we're gonna go into our apps. When we log in, we're gonna go to the drive, and then we're gonna pull up the Google Doc, and this is the manner of governance of how you'll do data governance for, say, your Google Suite. And so you have to really pay attention to monitoring who has access to certain files, and that's pretty much how Google does it. It's not like Microsoft, where it is similar, but Microsoft allows you to password protect. Now going over the backdoor manner of password protection. We're going to start with a Microsoft Word document. We're going to go into the ribbon all the way to review. In the review ribbon, we'll see a tab for protect document. We're going to want to click that. And when we click on protect document, it'll show this: password protect, security. Now, it is highly recommended, and in my opinion good practice, is that you keep a list of your passwords. And if you lose the password after encrypting it, I don't believe you'll be able to get access to it again. And so I would say, after you set the password, then and only then you should store it. And so in summary, this really quick knowledge: open Microsoft Word, click the review, click protect document, set your passwords, save your document. And this is where the backdoor comes in, where you're uploading it into Google Drive, and it should still keep the password protection. However, if you were to, say, edit it and it'll save over itself, then you may have to rinse and repeat the process. But I will say, if you're just storing it as a Word, then you should be able to download it, and it should have the password protection last I checked. So, making and receiving calls using Google Voice. Firstly, you want to make sure in your apps that you have voice. And this is what the app will look like, where you can sign up for it on your account. After you get set up with the Start Now button that's there on almost any Google app, you'll see an interface very similar to this. And so the phone log is when you click this icon, and then you can even have some SMS from the chat, and then this is going to be a voicemail. And so if you were to click on either of these, then this is going to change. However, for the main part, you're going to want to just pay attention to this. This icon you'll see right there, this is pretty much just to check your options, like which headphone would you like the noise or audio to go to. And then this is for your microphone. And so this right here, you'll have a little dial button where you can make dials. Now for receiving the phone call, you have to set up your routing phone number. And so that is going to look something like this, where you have a middleman. And so let me see, insert okay, let's use that. So let's just pretend this is the phone call, and let's say this is the user trying to reach you. So they're trying to connect with you. So it's gonna go to the phone number you have with Google Voice. But because you set it up in your account, you're going to be able to transfer that phone call directly to your personal phone number, or whatever phone number you decide to use. That way your phone number is protected by Google Voice. So in summary, to make calls, log into your Gmail, open up your apps, scroll to voice, obtain a number, a phone number, assign it to your Gmail as a user that you'll see in the account, and it'll also help you with a step-by-step. Then you can use voice freely to make a phone call just like any other phone. Now to receive it, you just have to put a forward phone number in your voice account and then answer the call on your computer, or you can answer it on your phone. It just just like however you want to do it. So it could be the phone, it could be the computer, and the setup is like pretty easy. Google kind of walks you through it, and everything is kind of intuitive. And so moving on. So setting up Google Meet rooms with privacy settings. So specifically HIPAA, you need to be very careful that there isn't a native way to record, because recording can be a HIPAA violation, especially for like mental health appointments. So to ensure that there's privacy settings, you want to go to the admin, which is in your Google Apps. And so you'll go to admin, and then you're going to click, when you look at the left, this right here, apps. And then you're going to go on Google Workspace. On Google Workspace, it'll open up a drop tab, and you'll see Google Meet. On the right hand side of that, you'll see these settings. Right? And so you'll be able to click on that right there. And then this is the second one. You'll be able to see the second one right here. Now, one thing I would like to highlight is that you want to make sure that quick access is turned off. is turned on by default, but you want to go in and turn that off. And then yes, you would want this turned on as well, the external participant, because you want to be able to know who belongs in there and who does not belong in there. And then those are pretty much the main ones. And so this is what it should look like right here. So quick access is turned off. And then you're keeping this on. And then, like I said before, you want to make sure that recording is turned off. Do not let people record their meetings. One, it takes up a lot of storage in your Google Drive. But most importantly, number two is that you're liable for HIPAA violation, as I understand the paperwork. And so, yeah, I would kind of just stay away from that. And, you know, it's very important that people don't record the meetings. Now, starting a Google Meet room with these settings. So, because the settings are already in place, it applies to all of the users. So, you set up for success. Let's head on over to the app, look for the Meet. And then you're going to want to click New Meeting. Then you're going to want to schedule in the Google Calendar. And then when you look at guest permissions, you want to unclick them. You want to make sure that they are unclicked. By default, they're going to be clicked and allowed, enabled. Now, this right here, you're going to want to click that. And then you just want to verify that there is host management. It's always better to just verify that everything is on. Now, this is where you're going to add the people that you want, or the person. And without that access, then it's going to be a lot harder for someone outside without the invitation to join, which is what you want. And so that is how you start it. Now, going into the automatic reminders and scheduling, well, it's kind of the same thing. So you're going to see a little thing right here for notifications. Now this is the reminder. You're going to click Add Notification. And then you could put 10 minutes from that meeting, 10 hours, 10 days, 10 weeks, whatever automatic reminder you would want. However, to make it rescheduled, you just have to click it as a reoccurring meeting. And then lastly, to access the HIPAA documentation for Google search Google HIPAA compliance. And I use this as opposed to just showing the document outright for your security. If that is something you care about, you can just use these keywords and it'll populate this snippet where you can click HIPAA compliance. And so right here, you're going to want to review and accept the BAA, the Business Associate Agreement. And then right here is pretty much what you'll be doing for your HIPAA governance and making sure everything is in line as your part for the administrator. And in a nutshell, that is our 5 points for today. Protecting the individual files, making and receiving calls using Google Voice, setting up Google Meets, using automatic reminders and scheduling features, and knowing where to access HIPAA documentation. If in case there are any questions, you can always refer to Google. And yeah, thank you. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.